Hi, I'm doing my speech over addiction. Something I struggled with for years until 3 years ago until I got sober, and I'm just so thankful that I got sober and thankful that my mom and dad loved me enough to get me help to where I went to sent me to rehab where I stayed for 1 year and a half. You know, then I moved into sober living to where I got help, some more help. But addiction took over my life. It got so bad where uh, I died for 12 minutes, and the graces of God, they were able to save me. And I knew, I think it took that. It's sad that it took that for me to have. That was probably one of the coldest, hardest days of my life, but for it to hit that rock bottom to say something needed to change. I knew God then when, after that day, I knew He put me down here. I was here for a reason because, from that day on, I was going to do whatever I had to quit. Whatever my mom and dad wanted me to do, I was going to do it. And no matter what, I was going to try to live my life better than what I was. Addiction destroys families. It makes you someone who you're not, the person you want to be. It robs you of your dreams and your goals. It destroys any relationship at all that you got going with your family. It makes you someone that you're not. And, people think that it's easy just to say, you can just quit. And, if you pray to God, many families believe if praying made you be able to stop, I would have been able to stop a long time ago, but it wasn't like that. I believe addiction is a disease. I believe, some people can quit some things, but some people just can't. It's something in your brain that just don't stop, and you can't handle it, and it does it is a disease. I'm here to say that I know for a fact it is. You have to change everything about your life when you're getting clean. You have to change places and things and people. It's like starting over from scratch because, that's the one thing that'll probably lead you back to relapse is places and things and people. If you put yourself around the wrong people, put yourself in the wrong places, do the wrong things, then you'll probably go back abusing. Then after when I got sober, I gained a relationship with my family. I got pregnant, had my son. I found God. Like addiction were my worst days in my life, and then when I found recovery, it was amazing how I started living. And having my son, I guess, made me more to where I wanted to stay sober and things, but it's scary now because of addiction. The ages are getting younger. Drugs are getting more dangerous and easier to get. More people are even trying to make it, which is even crazier. Which puts a whole different dangerous into this thing. I could sit here and talk about addiction for hours with you all and try to explain it to you. It's addiction affects probably about every 1 to 3 households in America. It's sad that some people are ashamed to talk about it, and others are probably just don't want to admit it because it's such a big thing. But you shouldn't be ashamed that if someone in your household has addiction, because there are hope out there. Because if I can get clean, anybody can get clean. The government, FDS, came up with programs for people to join. I know there's a Suboxone program. I don't, a lot of people has a lot to say about that, and that if they agree with it, if they don't. I think if I don't have a lot of judgment on people because I feel like if the Suboxone program is working, let it work. Because if it's working for people, it has to be better than what they were doing before. It's like anything, you can abuse anything, but it's just you gotta want to stay sober. And I just, I agree on, there's some things I don't agree with it, but there are a lot of things I do agree with it. Addiction is a disease. It affects families. It affects, addiction is a disease, and it affects the addict plus the families. I mean, I found after getting sober, it's you have to do a lot of, it's good to do a lot of counseling, maybe therapists, because it's good for you and your family, because not only when you were in your active addiction, you were out hurting your families as well as yourself, because your families are up worrying about you. And, most of the time you're doing some things to them where you wouldn't normally do either. And, after you get sober, they're still looking at you still with that hurt and stuff. So, going to counseling, I found that with my family that it works out. I can tell them how I feel, and that I'm not the same. And it takes a lot of time just to get your family, but it feels so good when you get your family's trust back, and you stay clean, and you've got a lot of things that, like, I started college. I never dreamed I would be in college, and it's just amazing being sober. So I talked a little bit about my addiction and how it affects your family and friends, and